Hi, you're watching a very special recording of Agenda AWANI right here in Kuala Lumpur, and whenever I go out of the studio, that means I'm chasing a very, very important lead, and we're lucky today. I get to sit down with a very, very important lady. You might not have heard infrastructure as a service, but you might have heard cloud before, and a very important lady for the Alibaba Group, the Vice President of Alibaba Group and the President of Alibaba Cloud Intelligence International, Selina, Yuan. Thank you so much for making time. This is the second time in a few months that I've met you in Kuala Lumpur, but this is the first time I've gotten you for an interview. If you look at the Gartner report, you know, infrastructure as a service is billions of US dollars worth globally, and the growth is a double-digit growth around the world, and especially so the growth for Alibaba as far as cloud is concerned is very, very high. And you're number one in China, you're number one in Asia Pacific. So why is Malaysia important to you?
Okay, that's a good question. You know, we have the insight for the Malaysia. We think one of the important Malaysia is so young, the nation is like the Alibaba. So we think the more young we have, the more future we have. And for the cloud part is really the internet, the technology, and also the very future-oriented the technology. So in Malaysia, we have so many the business collaboration and cooperation with the new the SME for the startup, even for some big customer, they really want to introduce the internet, the technology, to have their own digitization. So we think that's why we are so thinking regarding the Malaysia as one of our very important.
One of a young nation, a lot of young people here. There's a hunger for new technologies, internet-based platform. Apart from the business side, we know that the leaders of Malaysia and the leader of Alibaba, Jack Ma, has met the Prime Minister and Prime Ministers of Malaysia. Is there a political will? I mean, in terms of a corporate outlook, is there also good relationship between Malaysia and Alibaba Group, not just for cloud, but across the platform?
You know, Alibaba Cloud is a very important part for the Alibaba economy. And we think, of course, the Alibaba economy is really, you know, our the very important support for us. Even, you know, in the Malaysia, you can see we have really our globalization strategy happens here. We have the global, the buy, global sell, global pay, global delivery, and the global fund here. So I think this is really very important for us. We can work together with the Alibaba economy together to serve well for the Malaysia.
I would like for you to link or make sense, because when Jack Ma was talking about Malaysia before, and this is one of the first EWTP, Electronic World Trading Platform, that he wanted to establish outside China. And we're building the DFTZ, Digital Free Trade Zone, to complement that. So how can you see how integral, how important the cloud and infrastructure as a service is to the whole intention to democratize trade, especially e-commerce and you know, cargo based on e-commerce, because the old rule that we have, the WTO, it doesn't really support sharing of wealth, especially for developing nation and also for a big country like China in Asia. So with cloud now and 5G coming, the ability to link everything, to make it electronic and digital, but at the same time moving fast cargoes and containers, how crucial is cloud for the next era of commerce in Asia, at least?
Yeah, that's a very good question. You know, for the Alibaba Cloud, it really has been initiated in the 2009. At that time, we met the really challenge for our e-commerce growth. If the really we still like the rely on the traditional on-premise models, so that means a lot of investment, investment and lots of the energy consumption as well. So it's difficult for us to have the more efficient operation for our like the e-commerce for our business. So that's why Dr. Dr. Wang decided to introduce Alibaba Cloud.
Okay.
So, you know, so far for the Alibaba economy, we are announced the all-in cloud. So that means whatever all the business, global like the buy, global sell, global like the pay, global the delivery, global fund, everything. All of this, our economy, the business will operate it, have our backbone for the Alibaba Cloud part. Including the computing, including the artificial intelligence, including the IoT platform, and so on. So we think all of these technology help us to make our like the creative the ideas happen, make it possible to really the really commercial launch with our business practice.
So you agree that data is already the most valuable commodity in the world, even in these parts of Asia, because many people are saying that oil is already left far behind as the most precious commodity. Data is now the most precious commodity.
I think it is like the for the technology part is a technology. It's like you have so different the cars, the vehicle,
Correct.
but the passenger maybe the people, maybe the something.
Yeah.
So for our Alibaba the cloud part, we have really the good technology, but how to use that is depends on our partners, on our like the customers.
Yes.
Yeah, but we are in the different countries. We have really we are compliant with the regulations. Yeah.
If I can ask you to step back a bit and share with the story of the growth of Alibaba Cloud, because it's just only been 10 years, but it's already one of the top 3 biggest players in the world. And how did you develop, in-house, locally trained and built technologies? Because Malaysia aspires to go to the higher technology side, and we don't want to just be consumers or users of new technology. How would Alibaba's experience and lessons learned, you think, can be shared with Malaysia to also move up in the technology of infrastructure for internet as a service, for example?
Yeah. That's also the good question. We are in Malaysia. We are for Malaysia. Really, we already have invested our training program here. Yeah, and also we have so many like the courses, encourage the courses for the startup to let them to know the new technologies, to know how to use Alibaba public cloud platform to have their own business going well, going better, the more efficient. We already have all of these training courses launched in Malaysia. Yeah.
How about research and development, R&D? Would there also be a sharing and transfer of knowledge there?
We have so many business cases. For instance, we work together with Selina for the smart transportation. As we launched before, we are for the Alibaba Cloud. We are more focused on the infrastructure and the platform. But for the different industry, they would need really the deep dive and also the understanding for the different industry. So that's why we work together with lots of the back technical talents, the company. They will base on our public cloud platform to have their the SaaS the services to the different customers. So also we enable them to understand how to use this new technology to have their we have the very open API interface. We have the more open platform to enable and support them to have their like the tailored development.
How would you know, one of the problems before whenever technology is used is the cost of technology. We know how much Amazon costs and Microsoft, you know, proprietary software. That's why piracy is rife in Asia, because the original software, for example, is very, very expensive. But how do we get past that with, because Alibaba came from the East, so it will understand more about the grassroots and the problems of capital and having enough money to adopt technology. Millions of small and medium enterprises in Asia are owned by father and mother kind of family owned business. They might not have the capital and the knowledge to move to a new platform like IoT and cloud. And if we look at the Alibaba early years, where a whole village was trained to be included into the supply chain that will be generated by the e-commerce platform. Would the same analogy now be seen into the new technology like cloud to make sure that access is not a problem for many SMEs around Asia?
I think is, for my understanding, maybe for the old parents, for the old generation, the ideas maybe is far from the technology. But for the young generation, even for some very young leaders for the family business, they are so creative, more innovative, than we have thinking before, have thought before, have expected before. They are really embrace the new technology, embrace the cloud, the computing, how to make their business more creative, enhance their ideas, the business ideas different than traditional. So in this part, we actually, as I mentioned, we have all of our technology products really clarified and tested by the huge volume of the Alibaba the business practices. So that's why we would like to share some like our business experience with them. I think by far for our like the fast growth in the Malaysia, we support well.
What would you say to micro, small, and medium enterprises that are still hesitant to embrace new technology, because to them $1,000 is a lot of money, for example, to invest in anything. So when they look at, 5G sounds good, cloud sounds good, but the cost to my cash flow as an investment is rather tricky. So what would you say? That's the camera. What would you say to the SMEs still reluctant to join the revolution of IT, AI, and IoT and cloud?
I think it's like the ideas comparing with the traditional on-premise IT system and the cloud, the part. If whatever the SME, they would like to have some internet, the business, they need to use the IT system. If they do not buy everything by the menu, work, they need to have their IT infrastructure platform. But if they buy all of this, whatever the network, the part, the IT system, the IT infrastructure, everything, is also
more costly.
Cost. So you have your answer.
Before I leave you, have you been surprised at how fast Malaysian companies, SMEs, and authorities and government has been adopting to technology, especially on cloud intelligence?
Yes, exactly. Now we receive lots of even the big group
wants to work with you.
With us, and also SME. They are maybe at the very beginning, they are very interested in why like the Alibaba economy, the growth so the faster than the average. But we introduce, our the business and our cloud, how to support them. they really want to embrace all of these technology.
Thank you so much, Selina,
Thank
for
you.
making time
Thank
to
you.
be here.
Thank you.
This has been a very special recording of Agenda AWANI right here with, of course, cloud computing, internet as a service with Alibaba. See you again. You are still watching a very special recording of Agenda AWANI, and like I said before, whenever I go out of my live show at night, that means I'm chasing a very important subject or issue, and we all believe that technology is very crucial for Malaysian development, and internet as a service, software as a service, cloud, IoT, 5G, all these are what we're looking at, and one of the big names that's leading the world in this would be Alibaba, and Alibaba Cloud Intelligence has been in Malaysia for quite some time. This is the second time I'm at their event in a few months. So we've been with Selina before. I'm going to end the episode with Kenny Tan. Thank you so much, Kenny, for making time. Kenny is the GM or General Manager of Alibaba Cloud Intelligence for not only Malaysia, but also Thailand. Before I go on, Selina give the broad strokes of where we are. But one thing that she keep on saying is that she's very pleased to see how Malaysia is adopting to cloud intelligence, for example. And if you can enlighten us on that, like I said to her, this is the second time we're meeting her. The last time was more for intelligent cities, smart traffic, and now also there's an MOU on fintech. And when I look at the showcase, there's many sectors represented here, like e-payment and stuff like that. So, are we really that gung-ho in this fourth industrial revolution to adopt technologies like cloud computing from your perspective?
Well, I think from Malaysia point of view, the market size and also the enterprises, SME, yes, they are embarking on digital transformations. Now, a lot of people may say that, embarking on digital transformations, is it because of technology? I personally don't think so. I think it's because of demand of the market. Okay. The market is going fast. The demand is high, right? As you can see, when there's a product launch, the business unit will go to the IT and say that, hey, I need it tomorrow. And there's no time for the IT to prepare. All right. In this kind of fast change, how can IT team to speed up and make sure that everything is in order? Well, going to cloud is one of the key journeys that where we can see from an enterprise standpoint, from SME, from financial industries, that they are doing that. All right. Now, yes, today you see that a lot of showcase that we shows even a petani yang itu built the chili, all right, yang tanam chili tu also can go to the cloud, all right. So there's no reason none of the enterprise or any of the industry cannot go cloud. Right, so this is one of the use case that why we share a lot of industries that are able to go on cloud, because we want to tell everyone in Malaysia or the enterprises SME in Malaysia there is a possible, right? It depends whether that are we willing to take up the first steps, whether they're willing to change, shift the mindset. So and I really see based on my experience in Malaysia market, I see that a lot of enterprise SME, they're really keen and they really want to do that, and they are looking for partners who are willing to walk through this journey with them.
In the market like now, where there's a lot of uncertainties, for a father and mother, mom and pops kind of SME, to fork out a few thousand is a big deal. And looking at the cash flow and revenue generation and stuff. So maybe other players are coming from a standpoint where they are the market leaders since the beginning. But maybe for Alibaba Cloud, which came in later, only 10 years ago, would there be more empathy to the plight of the SMEs in Asia, where cash flow is very important stuff, because we're fighting the global market now with globalization. At the same time, there's a lot of cost pressures locally and uncertainties. So how do you look at the ability of the micro, small and medium enterprises in Malaysia or in the region to look at the ability to park aside investment for technology like Alibaba Cloud?
Well, I think a lot of people also ask me about this, like, about cost, all right? Yes, definitely in area of the digital transformation journey, there will be a cost involved, right? But looking at this, whether that you really have, you really need to go for the enterprise level, or really based on what your business is. I don't suggest, and I don't agree to my customers or SME that says that, hey, I want this, I want this big dream, I want this big blueprint. And so, what does it mean? Is just because people have it and you want it? Or is it really here to resolve your problem, resolve your business? I would recommend my clients or the SMEs look into what help your business first. When your business grows, your infrastructure will grow, your architectures will be redesigned. They will need to go through the evolutions, all right? You can't, like, today says that, I want everything, the best in the world to run my business. So looking at that, for SME, talking about technologies, I think will be more on solutions to them, how to help them in their business itself, whether that they need a website. Let's go for the very simple website. Website hosting doesn't cost much, a few $10, something like that. All right, and what's next for them? When the business grows, definitely there's a higher demand. When there's a higher demand, then things will eventually change, and you will see they themselves, SME themselves, will see, okay, from maybe 20% SME now become a 50, the next 100, 500, and I'll be the large enterprise.
What has been the most encouraging adoption of industry to the cloud in Malaysia? What kind of industries?
Well, on this questions itself, I would really say all industries. You can see from aviation, everyone is changing, shifting, because their priority is on selling tickets, right? How to be faster selling the tickets to the users, to the customers. You talk about enterprises, people like Genting, they are more focused on their programs. They are more focused on how to sell more entertainment to the customers, all right? Then you talked about people like Touch and Go e-wallet, all right? Adoption rates on e-wallet is required much more people to adopt the cashless society, right? So a lot of industries include SME. They are swifting, they are changing, and definitely they are adopting on all this.
Even the age of voting in Malaysia has been brought down to 18. Have you seen more young people adopting to the cloud in not just business but anything else? Because young people just want change, and one of the fastest way to go for change is connectivity.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yep. So I also receive a lot of requests, from those young people. Like someone will somehow text me and says that, hey Kenny, I'm from this school and I would like to understand more about cloud transformations. Can you share with us? Well, yes, we're definitely willing to share. I'm definitely willing to do this sharing with them, right? Yes, they are not my clients, but they are the young generations that I believe
future
that,
clients.
Yes, it's a future makers for Malaysia.
Correct.
We need to empower them. We need to teach them. It's not everything about business. It's not everything about money. Sometimes we call it what? Corporate social responsibility, right? That we need to empower them. We need to teach them and tell them what is the technology. Yeah. But when they grow up, the technology change, they transform, and then we need to learn from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are led now by the oldest prime minister in the country, in the world, and but he's so into technology, and his challenge is for Malaysia to master and produce technology, not just users. We have missed so many. We've missed the first industrial revolution. We tried making a car, didn't really cut it, and now with broadband and internet and cloud and AI. How do you think Malaysia could be masters and producers of technology rather than just the consumer of it?
I see Malaysia, there's a lot of potentials enterprises. There's a potential ISV, even the startups, right? I just give you a very, very recent cases, Selina Traffics, Buatan Malaysia traffic lights.
Okay.
Now that is how I see when we do the collaborations with Selina, we'll see that it's because this company is made in Malaysia.
Okay.
So we are willing to empower them, we're willing to share with them the technologies and make it happen, and make them more stronger and bring them abroad, bring them to the ASEAN region itself.
Okay.
Right? We see there's a lot of this kind of companies in Malaysia. There are a lot more that we're also approaching, and some of the customers also ISV or partners also approaching on this one. We are actually giving a priority to local companies.
So you have hope for Malaysia and technology moving forward?
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Kenny, for making
Thank
time to be on Agenda AWANI. It's been a very special recording of Agenda AWANI, a day with Alibaba Cloud and their intelligence and their top leaders to look at where the country and the world is moving as far as technology is concerned. I think they have given hope. Whether we live up to it or not, together we'll continue discussing and deliberating. Good night and goodbye.